Okay, 10 o'clock. Stand. Going down to moment of silence. 911 and started. Thank you. Do the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Approval of agenda.
Move to approve.
Support.
No additions or deletions. If not, signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed, same. Motion carried.
Move that we approve the minutes for this meeting of August 27th.
Support.
All in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Moving right along. Accounts payable dated September 4 for $309,599.68. USDC 2,468.44 for a total of $392. 06812.
I move we approve the accounts payable bills.
Support.
Minutes looking over.
The payment to Kevin Sanders for $500 for a skid motor box scraper. What's that? What's the story behind that? I'm just surprised it's to Kevin Sanders.
It's something that he had bought, I guess, back a while ago, and decided doesn't need it, but it would work here. And so we're gonna try to use it for two things. It's basically a box scraper that goes on the front of a skid steer, but it's got a rubber, like a big thick rubber squeegee on the bottom. And we're gonna use it to clean the floor when all the trucks in the wintertime,
Oh, so it's like a snow.
It's kind of like a snow plow for the building, but it's just to squeegee everything out. But at the same time, we've already retrofitted it to we took the rubber blade off and made some scraper blades out of our used scraper blades. And we're gonna use that to try to fix Camden Road, those grooves in the center. So we're gonna belt asphalt onto the ground and then use that, and it'll scrape it off, and it's made to where it puts about 1.5 inches high for like 3 foot. And so we're gonna do that and then roll it to try to get that groove. So we're gonna use it for two different things. But it was just something Kevin had, and we're like, yeah, that's something we could use, I think. So.
And how much is one of those new?
Oh, a few thousand.
At least.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got it.
Probably that rubber thing on the bottom, it was probably owned at one point in time by a dairyman who used it to scrape his lot.
Yes.
Not necessarily, snow pushers have a rubber tie.
I think
Really?
I think this was designated as like for a dairy kind of thing.
No, the box snow pushers that they put on backhoes and loaders and skid loaders, you can have those with rubber cutting edges.
And
I learned something today.
That was original designed or thought we would use for the barn to clean, and then when we started looking at Camden Road, like.
Now, this isn't a rubber tire one though, is it?
No, it's like a thick
I had
rubber about like that, and it's probably about 1.5 inches thick.
Yeah.
It's thick rubber, and it's made to and you can adjust them up and down as they wear.
Use them like a squeegee.
Yes, it's a big squeegee.
So after you use it on asphalt, you'll be able to put the rubber back on and use it in the bar?
Yes, because all we gotta do is on that we made, we'll unbolt the metal
Okay.
blades and bolt back in the rubber.
Stoops Freightliner, the $19,911 $11.20, fuel systems and harnesses replacement. What's the nature of that? Is it more than one truck?
Nope, that's one truck to fix it. The harnesses, the electric harnesses that go to those are extremely expensive, and that was just one of the things we had to bite the bullet on to get the truck fixed and get it back into service.
What happened to the fuel systems? I mean, is
It's
it
the
fuel
harness.
tank?
The harness is the main cost.
That's electronic.
The electronic harness that
electronic
basically
fuel injection.
runs the entire truck.
Okay, so is that an old truck, a new truck?
Not really, it's probably, I wanna say that one was like probably 8 to 10 years old.
What, they just wear through?
It could have been anything from something pinching it to mice chewing on it to, it could have been.
Okay, so I guess the reason I asked the question is we have a lot of fuel harnesses out there, and at $19,000 a piece, do we know what happened to this one so we can check the other ones to make sure it doesn't happen? I guess that's where my question is coming
I
from.
don't know, I'll have to look.
Okay, all right.
I guess,
But that's a unique thing with that, but I don't recall them having it too often. But
yeah, in my 4.5 years on the board, this is the first time I ever recall that happening.
I don't know what electronic fuel injectors are for a diesel, but I knew they used to be $1,600 a piece, and I'm sure they're more than that now. So if you got 6 of them in a truck,
But if it's just a harness replacement,
Right,
they're not
this is-
saying that the injectors.
no,
But the harness is way more expensive than the injectors are a piece of cake compared to the
Yeah.
harness, cause that goes to everything in the truck, basically.
well, that's,
It's the octopus inside the engine.
it's the computer talking to the engine, and the engine
okay.
talking back to the computer.
So again, I guess I would like a little more investigate, is it something that can, you know, is it a preventative item, or is it just fluke or whatever, so I guess that's.
I'll look into it, but I would have to tell you that was a fluke that
Right.
it just happened, like things break and.
And really, I think on those, you can't do any splicing or anything.
No.
You've gotta replace the whole harness.
And probably a lot of that is labor to replace that harness.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to pay the accounts payable, all in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same.
That's why the old mechanical injection is still the best.
Which ones you using too?
They probably don't make them anymore though.
You can still get parts.
So, yeah, but, I mean, as far as brand new ones.
No, that's, a lot of it's due to your, environmental
You know, your yeah.
Yeah,
control on these engines and that.
I'm sure it is.
I think even your husband does not indulge in much of the electronic.
Well, those engines have computers, I know that, we don't do the DEF yet.
That's what he's up to, I
Yes.
remember. 'Cause, he told me one time, he had a new electronic truck pass him on the Milwaukee Bridge, and so he went and bought a turbocharger so that they couldn't pass him anymore. And burned 5 of 6 pistons out of the engine. But they didn't pass him only till he blew up, and then they could pass him again.
Payroll, September 11th, $124,953.99.
I moved it, pay the payroll for
Or-
September 11th.
Any questions? If not, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Boys and their toys.
Treasurer's report.
Beginning cash and investment balance, $2,384,245.12. Total receipts, $711,948. Total disbursements, $517,022.11. CD reserved for 2 trucks is $684,954.91. The ending available fund balance is $1,894,216.81. And the outstanding accounts payable is $474.67.
Any questions?
I have a question. Bob, do you have any idea why the MTF number is down 150,000 over where it normally is?
No, it really just goes off of what they collected.
Here, 2-3 years ago, there was a company that, a sizable fuel company that didn't send their tax revenue to the state for 3-4 months, and there was quite a delay, and I was just curious if there was some of that going on.
I haven't heard that there was a delay, that was just a abnormality in the funding.
Because it's been running $750,000, $800,000 a month.
Like I say, mid to low 7.
Yeah.
People aren't buying gas.
Well, and it's a time of the year when tourism is usually strong, the summer months, so.
Now, is this, I guess I didn't ever understand MTF, is it for gas that's sold in Hillsdale County, is it collected?
It's part of the formula, but it's collected over the state and then divvied out based on, population and where vehicles are registered and.
Cause I remember years ago, talking to somebody in this state, you wanna buy your gas in Hillsdale County, but then the money comes to Hillsdale County roads.
No, not that specific, I don't think.
I questioned it when the fellas told me at the time, but I didn't know anything about it.
It goes by road mileage and population and
Yeah.
so get more people to move here and register their vehicles
Yeah, but
here.
then we got more traffic, we got to fix more roads.
I met some people sometime last week, and they said they like to come to Hillsdale. They live in Jackson County, but they like to come down here because they can buy gas for 30 to 50 cents a gallon cheaper here than they can in Jackson.
Mm-hmm.
It is. We have had, and if you followed it a little bit, we have had a few months where it was significantly higher too. So it kind of,
Averages out
yeah.
over the year.
Jackson, I think Jackson consistently is higher.
I was talking about MTF.
Oh.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh,
Yes, I agree.
Okay.
I was pretty sure what you were
Okay.
talking about.
I agree, Jackson's fuel is higher.
Well, Adrian too, you go to Adrian and the fuel's higher.
Cold water as well.
Yeah, we got about the cheapest prices around here. All right, same as presented, thank you. Public comment? Nothing?
No.
Oh, no, now it's manager's comment.
This is where the meeting gets longer. All right, let me go through a few things. You guys approved the contract for Mercer to do the fuel pumps, redo the system. They're coming out on the 25th to go over everything and make sure we're all on the same page, and then we'll start from there. They said once they get going, it really should only take them a couple weeks, and they can have it all up and going,
Wow.
and keeping at least one pump operational while they do it at all times, so we shouldn't lose the capability of fueling. But anyway, they're coming out on the 25th.
What about there was the bigger canopy versus the two small?
We're gonna talk about that.
Okay.
They wanna see if there's room to put the footers, for a big canopy, that's gonna be 2 big footers, one on each end of the aisle, which will make it one long aisle of all the pumps and everything, instead of having four pillars and the aisle to support the individual ones. So they're gonna look at all that and see where all that falls. If we have to come back to maybe approve a different type of canopy, I'll bring that back to you, but we'll hopefully figure all that out on the 25th. Craysiff has their annual meeting coming up on September 22nd, 23rd. So I believe myself, Heather, and Jeff Maxon are going to that. The SAM conference is October 1st through the 3rd. And I believe there's about 4 people going to that.
Is that the
Superintendent's Association, yes. And that'll be at Treetops this year, I believe. Let's see, we started our brush spraying for this year. We started that yesterday. They started in Adams and Wheatland Township, and we're going to be doing the northeast corner of the county. So they're using, I think it was Culbert Road is where they did up to last year, so they're going to go from there and over to and including Millens Road. So that'll be that corner of the county, and next year we'll continue around.
I thought he was gonna go to Somerset.
They will. I mean, they're doing these 2 and these 2 townships, but Millens Road is the divider
Okay.
to where that's the quarter of the county that they're spraying. And they'll hit every road that's in there. Let's see, the 2025 Traffic Summit is October 22nd at 10 a.m. That'll be in the City Hall like last year.
What date you said?
October 22nd.
What day of the week is that?
I believe it's Tuesday? Wednesday.
What time, 9?
10.
10?
9 if you're bringing the donuts. All right, so from some of Kevin's updates, the ditch and deberming project for Riker Road is pretty much done, other than a little more hydro seeding. We have to go back and do some spots to keep it from washing and re-seed, because some of it did take, but it's not too bad. Hakes Road, we're working out right now. We're done hauling the gravel, so it's really just shaping things up and then hydro seeding. I think there might be 1 or 2 drive tubes that we still gotta replace, but that one's going pretty well too.
Is that Reading Township?
Yes. And I believe those finish up what was left over from 2023. And so we're also working on like 3 or 4 of them for 2024 to get them worked on. So paving, we're down to Burt Road. That's a contract, and then our primary paving, which we're going to do some, like I said, on Camden Road to try to heal in some of that center groove. I don't know how far we'll get with the money that we have, but we'll do what we can with that scraper blade and a roller, and hopefully just try to heal that in. I think the road itself and the base seems to be in pretty good shape. It's just that dang groove in the center. If we can fill that in, possibly then we can then do an overlay, in future years to try to heal all that together. If we have to pulverize it and redo it, that's going to be very, very expensive.
Yeah.
So basically Camden, Lilac, and we're going to start doing some more spot patching on, skip patching on Territorial. And then we'll kind of move on from there. So, and all that paving will start once we're done with chip seal. And so we should be finishing the last road today for the chip seal. They'll switch over the tanker to the fog seal, so they'll have to go back and fog seal everything. As soon as he's done with the fog seal, he'll switch over to tack, and then we'll start paving because we need the tack to do the paving. Let's see.
So they'll start fog sealing after that then?
Yeah, hopefully first part of next week. We'll order some, might not be Monday, but it'll probably be Tuesday. We'll order fog, and he'll have to clean out the tank, change over the nozzles, because it takes a different size nozzle, and be ready to spray fog next week. Let's see, for Brian, the first two applications for everybody that contracted it is done. Fayette still has a third one that they've contracted for, and we're working with them to, when they wanna see it done, we'll get that.
They do Adams Township?
Fayette Township mentioned that they wanted to make sure that the road commission was gonna scrape those roads prior to the third, brining.
Always do.
That's what I thought, but I am just relaying the message.
Okay, yes,
So.
yes, they will be scraped.
Okay,
Did Amboy Township get a second round of Brian?
yes, they did, cause I remember
It
working.
looked like it, because I was there last night driving some gravel roads, and I thought, man, this looks like it's recently been brined again.
Yep, cause actually, Blaine called wanting to pay for Brian on the Monte Carlo.
Yeah,
I'm like, well, if you wanna wait a couple of days, we're about ready to start scraping for the second round of Brian for the township, and all of them are gonna get done anyway, and he's like, oh, okay. So, yes, we did do a second round on Amboy. State road work really, other than just regular routine patching and picking up the trash and doing a little bit of mowing, on the roadsides. That's about all we've done on the state work lately. And of course, we always have crews out, coal patching, trying to keep up with any of the potholes. All the limestone and gravel patching is complete. We finished Moscow's, it was earlier this week. For the donated stone that Stone Co donated for them, so we hauled the 12,000 or 1,200 stone for them.
so did you spot Brian after that then?
If he's not done, he's doing it right now. But yes.
So there will be
Yes.
spot brining done
Yes.
as well then.
And so, well, I guess I can go back to that. We've used that truck significantly this year, and I think it's worked out well. We've been able to follow those gravel patchings and brine them in. It has cost us a little more money because we're spending that extra brine, but I haven't really had any complaints of. I think that's one of the guys that normally wants to brine his own stuff right in front of his house, and we graded it, and after he brined it, but other than that.
His own brine?
No, Corrigan has had contracts with individuals evidently for years. And they go and they brine like 300 or 400 feet right in front of their house. And so I've told them, and I've got with Corrigan this year, I said, go ahead and honor your contracts for this year. But from here on out, all that needs to come through us. And we need to spray the entire section of road, like a mile, half mile, whatever that is. So we don't wind up with a checkerboard of dusty, not dusty, dusty. It's making some of those residents mad that they don't want to pay any more than what they were paying. But I think that's the right thing to do. So Corrigan has been honoring their contracts for this year and actually telling all the customers we won't be able to do it next year. You need to contact your township or the road commission to get that done. We can still do it, but it needs to come through us so we know what's getting put down, how much is getting put down, when it's getting put down, all that. So, but I think that truck has worked out well, and the operator's liking it. It's working well. It's spraying well.
There hasn't been any complaints on Brian. Same with roadside mowing. No.
well, I think the fact that we're able to get everything brined on a timely basis
Yes.
has been a huge improvement. And now doing the spot brine, I mean, I've told my townships if we don't come back out there and spot brine those areas where we put on patch gravel, either call me or call the road commission and we'll get it done.
Yep. And there's been a couple that it probably took a little longer, and they called and we were like, okay, yep, and we made sure that they're out there. So the driver's done great at, going and hitting all those spots, and basically, just so you know, it's been like, say we're working in Wright Township, and we spread all the gravel, because he doesn't know exactly where all the gravel went. So he goes and drives all the roads, And if he sees new gravel, he sprays it, you know, so he might miss one here or there, and so if they call, go back out and spray it, but I think it's worked good, and I think he's caught most everything each township, so. Let's see, already talked about the brush spray. The Elm Road culvert is Eagle approved the permit, told us what size we could get. It's on order, and they're saying it's gonna take 2 weeks to build. But in the middle of all that, we got an email from Eagle saying that the DNR has now weighed in and saying there's a, I forget what it's called, some little fish that's like 7 centimeters long that's endangered is in that watershed.
Oh, my word.
So now they're gonna limit us to when we can work in that watershed because of their spawning and blah, blah, blah.
That'll be
So-
strong, but
From what they're showing, we can work between 1 July and 15 October. It's the only time you can work in that watershed and dig in there. So that's why we hurried up and got the tube ordered. They're trying to put a rush on it too, to get it done in like 2 weeks. So we can get it here, we can remove all the old footings and bridge and all that, get this one put in before 15 October. They said there is a little wiggle room there, so we're assuming to the end of October, but we wanna get it in and
So you
get
got
it
3
done.
days.
No, October.
No,
Oh,
No, no.
okay, okay.
October, yes. Then today, we had, I guess, the landowner that owns 3 sections of that area for that bridge, called today wanting to know what we're doing, when we're doing it, and blah, 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 and basically, in no uncertain terms, says you need to stay inside your right-of-way footprint, which means we've got 66 foot from the center, you know, for the road, and if we go outside of that, I don't know, because normally we'd have to either buy the property, buy a temporary grading easement. I'm not sure where he's going with this, but, because just literally an hour ago. So he's raising questions about how wide the right of way is there, and,
After the
Well, yeah.
meeting, let me know who that is.
okay,
Is that farmland around that culvert?
no.
Is it swampland?
Not on
Is
the
it?
It's not really, it's kind of brushy.
Yeah.
So it's not a homeowner's lawn?
No. That's why I wanna know who it is, and maybe I can take care of that.
So is this 150 foot long? This tube?
No.
That's what it says here. It is contract 150 foot by 96 inches.
$1660 is 120.
this is,
That's a,
Did I miss a typo?
yes.
Hey, because the one that we put in on Territorial Road was like 73 foot long. How can this one be that much longer than?
It's not, and I believe this one's only in the 40 foot range. That could be the diameter's a squash tube, so it's so high by so wide. So I believe that's gonna be the height. No, that's the width. That should be 15 foot.
15 by 96.
So it's gonna be 15 foot wide, 96 inches high, and it's kind of a squashed oval.
Yeah, they know how long it's gonna be.
I wanna say it's in the 40 foot, I don't know why it's not on here, but it's short enough to fit within the right of way, it's just a matter of our working. I think he's wanting to throw a fit over us being out onto his property.
It sounds to me like he's just trying to get some extra money.
Well, apparently it's whoever lives, and I don't know which direction, I believe to the east, on the north side of the road, he owns the two, like the river comes through, and Elm Road runs here, the river comes through, and he owns those 2 quadrants and this quadrant of land. He doesn't own this one over here. And apparently he likes the bridge being out, because it limits the traffic. So,
Oh.
every step of the way, this thing's
I don't
fighting
blame
us. So, more to come on that, I just wanted to update you on that part, but we do have the permits, we got it on order.
You don't blame them?
We
I
have.
wish I could get a bridge run on my road.
Really?
The traffic is horrendous.
But roads are how people move. People have a right to use roads. Why?
I know that.
Why,
But
why,
not
why
my
does
road.
living somewhere, you think you should constrict who can go by? That amazes me. I'm
It goes back to states' rights.
I'm astounded by that thought. Cause to me, my thought would be as well, if I don't like the traffic going by, I need to find somewhere else to live, so I
Right.
have less traffic. I mean, that's how I think.
I think you get a whole lot less on that one.
Yeah.
But anyway,
That's not,
It'd be impossible to get less.
but
So anyway, that'll be a contract that you guys are gonna have to
that's.
vote on here when I'm done.
So we're gonna have to get a big crane to set this
Yes.
one too?
Yes, it's all figured into the cost here, total cost of 83,000. And then the cost share policy says that everything's split 50-50.
Yeah.
So this is got enough buffer, I think, in it that we're not gonna get hurt, and even the township shouldn't have quite this much, but that's got our labor, our equipment, the crane, the tube, removal of the old.
So is Frank still gonna help us out?
Yes,
Okay,
he'll pay it to the township,
yeah,
they'll pay it.
Yeah, so I guess, yeah, he's gonna work whatever the township, we'll still work.
so
with the
obviously it's
township.
not him that's
No,
causing this.
I think,
Absolutely
I think I know who it is,
Okay,
once he said north side of the road and east,
That's what I believe that's where it's at, but
and I know him really well, so.
so Frank's
I've-
gonna help with the township
I've heard
share,
that
we'll
we
still
do.
pay our share.
okay, so let's see, where did I leave off there?
you're gonna use the Teddy Roosevelt theory,
Yep.
speak softly, carry a big stick.
I don't know why.
So an issue that I'm probably gonna stir up here soon is we had an issue on Ashtawada, a few weeks ago, where one resident complained about another resident had a log that runs the property line and comes out to the edge of the road. And it was a log probably about that big around, and he had an angle cut on the end. So he was complaining that's in the right of way, you need to remove it. Or else he wanted to build an asphalt curb that basically directed the water over there, which is based all of his water would come over out onto the road, go by this guy's driveway, and it's out on the road. So I went and talked to the homeowner. And reluctantly, he was like, "All right, I'll be the bigger man. I'm getting ready to move anyway." He said he was tired of it. So he went out there and he cut the log at 15 foot back, because that's a 33 foot deeded plat, for the road. So it's not it's got the implied right of ways that we can work in, but that's the deeded plat. And so we told him to go back 15 feet, which is just shy of what that 33 foot is, he cut the log. And he says, "I'll be the bigger man." He said, "However, what about that wall right up there, that concrete wall?"
Oh, God, same two people again.
Mm-hmm. And I'm like, "Well, I didn't know that was where the other guy lived." And so I said, "Well, I guess I can go talk to him, and that'll probably stir up a good issue." And he's like, "Well, I'll be the bigger man, I'm just gonna say, heck with it." Apparently, he came back in a week later, said that other individual has now filed 2 more suits against him, and he says, "I'm not the bigger man anymore, I want that removed." So he's put in a request to have this concrete wall that comes out to the edge of the road cut back basically to where that fence line is, 15 foot back, to have that cut back and removed from the right of way. So I guess I'm gonna do an encroachment letter to them and tell them they've got 30 days to remove it.
Why does the wall come out that far anyway?
It's, who knows, it's been there. This is gonna cause a hornet's nest, because there's all kinds of things all around every lake that come out into the right of way. I did talk, because the meeting I was just at on Tuesday was with Macrissa, and so while I had Gail as a captive audience, I said, what is your thoughts on this? And I showed her this exact thing and told her the whole story, and she's like, have it removed, because that could cause a liability on us and them. But I said, well, it's been there a long time. She says, doesn't really matter, you've been notified of it now, you should have it removed. So, more to come on that.
I thought it was over.
I thought it was over too, especially when the guy said, yep, and he cut the log, and
So if this guy's, the log guy, I don't know names, log guy is moving, the house up for sale or,
yes.
okay. So is the other homeowner trying to fix some things before he leaves so the next homeowner doesn't
No.
continue to do those things?
No, this has been an ongoing thing, and we kind of
For at least 10 years.
Okay.
put it to bed
If you know
a
them,
year ago.
Okay, alright, I know.
they complain about a paper plane.
Okay,
Yeah.
alright.
Yes.
Because, again, if you're moving, why invest that negative energy? He's gonna be gone anyway.
I
Or
take it
they're
there's
gonna be
been
gone.
multiple lawsuits
Okay,
and multiple,
okay.
and
It's
he's
like a
finally
vendetta.
They just sit there and
And
try
so
to
now,
think
once
of
we've
it.
been put on notice,
We gotta take.
because there's a lot of things out there, you know, and if I went down every road,
Oh, yeah.
we'd be in court for years.
One's a garage, there's one a garage.
Yes,
Whole garage.
there's buildings in the right of
Yeah,
way.
that was one over in, Lake Leanne.
So anyway,
How'd they get a permit to build in the roadway?
because who knows how long that's been there, how
Okay.
long
Probably
those,
before permits were necessary.
Okay, so it's an old.
and it could have been,
garage.
it was always platted there,
Right,
that
right.
flat, there
Well,
should have never been nothing in
sometimes
there,
if
but
you work fast, you can get, you can get it out.
Well, I
on the
heard a story
weekend nights.
last night at the Amboy Township Board meeting that somebody is put in a basement to build a new house. And in the process, they cut the neighbor's sewer line,
Oh, boy.
and come to find out, now part of this foundation is on the neighbor's property.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh, I bet that'll move.
So, you know, my comment was, it's gonna make some lawyers happy.
Wow.
Yeah, that's what happened over in Somerset. The guy put the garage and it's in the right of way.
And that was actually part of our whole
Yeah.
meeting that we had at McChrystal. There was two things that they were covering. And that's one of them, is the encroachments, you know, and that's considered an encroachment in the right of way. So they had the whole thing, you know, there was that, and, like dealing with a big storm, or, you know, how to
Disaster.
how to go about doing that, working with the county with the, oh shoot, I'm drawing a blank now.
Emergency.
Yeah, like the emergency management side of it.
Yeah.
So we had half the session was on that. They had the state police, like top dude that sits in the state EOC, and we talked about big issues like that, because it's stemming from the ice storm
Right.
up north.
Yep.
They learned a lot of things that aren't in place or would have made it a whole lot easier. So we did that, and then we did the encroachments. And so this fell right into all that.
Yeah.
There's even, and they'll admit, there's judges out there that don't have a clue on how to interpret the law on the right-of-ways. And so, is it a legal right-of-way? Is it not? Is it platted? Is it, you know? And so there's so many, and I've always thought that myself, there's so many issues with right-of-ways, it's not even funny. And so, when this guy now today called about the right-of-way for the bridge, that could get ugly too, so. Anyway.
Okay.
Let's see what else I got here. Two.
Hi, Mike.
He's just in time almost. One other thing is I need to basically add, there's a possibility, but I need to add another position to the union numbers, because we've got, I'm now a mechanic that has signed a bid to run a grader, but per se all the driver operator positions are full, just nobody bid on that grader. He bid to run the grader, and basically to switch from being a mechanic to a driver and run the grader, which leaves it bumps one person extra into the driver's pool, but it reduces one in the mechanic, and I need those mechanics, so I'd wanna be able to replace him, which, and overall, could raise. Now, we do have a couple of upcoming retirements that they've told us, so if that's the case, maybe we just don't hire to replace that one, but I do wanna replace the mechanic. But still, I can't do it for 40 days, cause he gets a 40-day window to see if he learns it and is good at it, wants to keep doing it, and at that 40-day mark, we either tell him, yep, you're certified and now you're a driver, you're gonna run that grader, or no, you're going back to being a mechanic. If he goes to be a driver, then we can hire that mechanic, so it'll be like 40 days out before we can even recognize, I just wanna throw that out to you, that's.
Can we afford to increase our labor costs out there? Is that the right thing to do? That would be my concern.
I think so, that'll be part of our whole budget when we start working on that here very soon. I think we can absorb that, and I think personally we need a few more bodies, but it's all of the budget thing. So, worst case scenario, when the next one retires, you just don't fill it, and it levels back up.
So why don't we take that tax moving forward, if he does stay, just not hire anybody, knowing that we're having these retirements?
We can, but
We still need the mechanic.
we still need a mechanic, we still need more people, but that's, like you said, that's a budgeted thing. I just wanted to throw that out.
I think we need to understand how we can afford that, because again, every dollar that goes into wages is not a dollar we can put into materials to work on roads.
And fringes and everything, you're pretty
Yes.
much figuring 100,000 per body,
Correct.
so, yes, it's gotta be a budget thing, but
The retirees, or pending retirees, how long do you, before you expect that would happen?
well, I know one's given us a date of in February, but there could be one even quicker than that too, but don't have the official
Notification.
paperwork or anything started yet.
So February would be 4 months, potentially, 5.
In which you wouldn't have, it's gonna be 40 days before you can even think about
Right.
replacing the mechanic.
So
and
is that 40 calendar days or 40 work days?
We interpret that as 40 calendar days.
Okay. So about a month.
40 work
and 10
days if they only work on the grader a
Well,
day a week.
that's why I'm asking,
Yeah.
because that's about 5 weeks-ish.
Yep.
When was this first day on the grader, hasn't went?
We haven't awarded it yet. I've got the letter sitting on my desk. I wanted to talk to you guys first.
I guess,
So I'm okay with awarding it the way it is. And like I said, moving forward, we'll just have to hold off on the mechanic slot for 40 days at least. And if that's the route we take, is just not hire the next retiree slot, then we're still status quo.
cause that'll put us into October. We gotta have a mechanic in there before winter. That's all there is
So
to
that'll
it.
be a trick.
I thought we were up a mechanic anyway. I thought since you've been here, we've increased our mechanic numbers.
That's where we need to be.
Okay.
And we still can't keep up.
So my other question is that for the mechanics, we pay for certifications? for
Not
them?
yet.
Not yet. We don't pay for them to get certification done.
Not until, well, yes, it's a very lower rate right now for their state certifications. It's like 20 cents an hour.
So it's an hour, we don't actually pay for them to get the certification?
No, we just pay a bump in
Oh,
their
a
hourly rate.
premium, okay, alright,
Because if they
Okay.
have the certification.
okay, alright. So we're not investing
No.
in those certifications, cause that was my question is if they bounce over there and we paid for getting these certifications, how does that all work?
Okay.
But that's not what is happening, okay. Alright,
Yeah, so, and then that's the other thing, if he bounces over, then the pay he's getting for certifications, if he has any, goes away.
correct, right.
And he
'cause then
goes to the pay
right.
for that.
So a year down the road, he can't bump back into being a mechanic unless there's an opening.
Correct.
Okay.
And we do have a couple of mechanics that have bumped over that very could then bid to go back. I don't know, until that plays out, but
So if he bids for the grader, and he's technically a grader individual, does he not run a snow plow?
the graders are their snowplow routes. So in the wintertime, the graders, there's 4 graders and they each get a quarter of the county. And they plow usually gravel roads, with the graders. They don't have a truck route. If there's not enough for the grader to go out and we have an extra truck sitting here, then they jump in a truck and help whoever needs the help.
Okay, so I guess that was my question, what are they doing when they're, so if they bid the grader, they're still gonna be cutting trees or whatever is happening when there's not a
Oh,
snow
yes,
event?
yes,
Okay,
just like anybody else.
okay, alright, okay, I was just trying to understand that, so, alright.
Alright, so I believe that's all I got for right now for this. You got any questions?
All right, old business, we got any old business? Oh, all right, new business. Township contract, Pittsburgh, Elm Road, Egypt and Union. Estimated cost $83,613.20. Township share 41,808.60.
I move we approve the contract and sign it.
Support.
Any discussion? If not, signify by saying aye.
Are we gonna get the correct dimensions on that?
It's on the contract.
Well, I'd like it in
And it-
minutes.
Yes, the original design.
I don't care.
That's 150 inches.
That's 150 inches, not foot.
Okay.
That's, I was
So
wondering.
it is correct on
There
that,
you
Oh,
go.
yeah, it's correct.
okay.
Yeah.
I didn't
So
know
that's
if you were
an-
looking for,
I
okay.
just seen that, it was inches.
I don't know, yeah, it's gotta be on that contract.
You understand why I raised the question?
I just knew that bridge was close to a 15-foot span, the old bridge. But it wasn't considered a bridge, it was considered a culvert because it didn't hit 20 foot. So I knew it was in that ballpark, it was 150 inches or what,
20,
what the Eagle permit allowed.
it's about 12 to 14 foot.
That's on the top one too.
That's been closed for what?
4 years.
I think
This
it's been
is the-
quite-
No, it hasn't been that long, because it closed when I came. I've only been here.
Well, it was partially closed.
It was open,
one
but
lane.
it had
Oh,
a
yes, you had it one lane.
One
it had a 3-ton load limit on it,
Yeah.
which didn't mean anything to some people.
Oh, no, they're all gravel.
That was the same with the
Right.
Hog Creek Bridge. We couldn't keep people off it, so we closed it, so,
So that pipe's 150 inches by 96 inches.
yes.
Okay. So it didn't have a double hashtag on 150. There you go. Okay. So that will be correct.
While I'm signing here, so I mentioned to Amboy last night about the Buckeye Road culvert, just west of Trip Road. Is that a project that we're gonna be able to get Eagle's approval so we can move ahead next year on that one?
I would assume, yes, the Buckeye Road and the Somerset Road structures. We should be able to get approvals, and then it's just down to the townships wanting to participate.
Somerset will be a culvert,
They're both covered, yeah.
because there's a little bridge in there now. on Somerset.
Like I said, if it's under 20, if we can get away with the culvert, that's the best.
Yeah.
Other than that, it'd have to go to probably a timber bridge.
So the township board said, well, we're gonna know that number before we, adopt our budget, and I said, I would,
We're not gonna know what Eagle is saying can go in there, which will say what the cost is, until, I don't foresee that until next spring.
well, they have to adopt the budget before the 1st of April.
Okay, then maybe, Yes, okay.
But we gotta give them some kind of a ballpark.
Within close
Estimate.
time.
Yeah, you wanna,
No.
We could give them what we think it's gonna be, and
Yeah,
then
subject
if
to
that,
change.
if that's what Eagle approves, or in that close proximity, that'll be close.
Yeah, I think they could live with that.
I'm sure we can do that.
Okay. We're down to going into closed sessions.
Thank you.
Thanks, Doug.
Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we go into closed session to discuss union negotiations with our labor attorney.
I think we gotta do roll call on that.
We do.
Just a second, I'll be right back.
I was asked to carry the message that the ladies over here needed to see before we went into closed session. I carried the message.
oh,
Did you
We
unplug?
got, we gotta do
I just-
roll
We
Wait,
call.
gotta
roll
take the
call
roll
first.
call
Okay.
first.
Yeah, we gotta have a roll call vote.
Commissioner Leininger,
Yes.
Commissioner Carney,
yes.
Commissioner Smith,
Yes.
Commissioner Klein,
Yes.
Commissioner Godfrey.
Yes. We gotta take a short